An exciting new country now awaits you inside Walt Disney World's Fort Wilderness. Bring a swimsuit and a smile because you're likely to wear both out at River Country. These are just some of the words that Disney used to entice its guests to visit its first ever water park, River Country, which debuted back in 1976 at Walt Disney World in Florida. This all sounds like fun, doesn't it? Fast forward to today and River Country still stands next to Bay Lake, not too far from Disney's own Magic Kingdom. The slides are still in place, the pools are still full of water, safety signs are still hanging up advising guests of what they should and shouldn't do. There's just one problem. The park is completely abandoned and has been like this for more than 13 years. Although still standing today, the slides are gradually disappearing under dense plant life, and the swimming pools, after not being maintained for over such a long period of time, are nowhere near any sort of swimming conditions. In short, Disney's River Country is decaying and dissolving. The millions of visitors that once passed through those gates are now just a thing of the past. And it's all happening right in front of our very own eyes. Parts of the park are still clearly visible from boats passing by on Bay Lake, while the entire area just stands meters away from the Fort Wilderness Resort. How did this come to be? And why? If you're a Disney fan, chances are you've probably heard of River Country before. Striking images of its abandoned state have spread like wildfire across the web and social media in recent years. And you may have even visited the park during its 25 years of operations. However, while photographs of the crumbling river are easy to come by, piecing together the full story behind it is much more difficult. Plans were made to originally rename a small island close to Fort Wilderness in the heart of Bay Lake as Treasure Island, later changed to Discovery Island. Animal exhibits were installed and it was marketed as a nature preserve. However, the Western Village plans were dropped after management decided that it would be more lucrative to create a high-impact, separately ticketed attraction that could be pitched as an essential destination for all resort guests. Discovery Island is a whole nother topic, which we will save for another video. Disney was going to build a water park. Just as there were amusement parks before Disneyland, there were water parks, or at least pools with slides, before River Country. In a similar vein, the company's first water park wouldn't simply host slides and swimming pools, instead it would feature a single cohesive theme. Each of the attractions would carefully be designed to fit within the park. In a sense, it would do for water parks what Disneyland had done for theme parks. The fingerprints of River Country's Imagineers can still be seen today in dozens of other water parks, most notably the ones created by Disney itself. Essentially, the system would work like this. Water would be drawn from Bay Lake via an intake filter pipe, being sent along the lake bottom into a pump system inside an enormous artificial mountain. From there, it would be forced down the park's flume at 8,500 gallons of water per minute, serving as both a sweep for guests down the flumes and to continually top up the water supply in River Country. Separating the water park's Bay Cove from Bay Lake would be a large rubber bladder-like structure. This would remain inflated 6 inches above the surface of the Bay Lake with the help of a special sensor system, ensuring that filtered water could not leave the park and spill into the Bay Lake, but that unfiltered water could not pollute River Country's swimming pools. For 25 years, River Country was a booming success. So, why did Disney all of a sudden close it without any reasoning? River Country closed as usual toward the end of the warm summer season in 2001. Wikipedia pegs its final days of operations that year as November 2nd. But Disney's own D23 website states that the park shut its gates on September 1st. Fans expected it to open as normal the following spring. However, on April 11, 2002, the Orlando Central reported that Walt Disney World's first water park, River Country, has closed and may not reopen. The final confirmation of River Country's permanent demise didn't come until more than 3 years after its closure on January 20th, 2005. Disney finally announced that its first water park would never reopen. So, back to why Disney would close a perfectly working water park? On August 28, 1980, a wiring story from the Associated Press was widely published in American newspapers. A rare but deadly disease caused by Amoeba found in Florida freshwater lakes has claimed its fourth victim, a young New Yorker who spent his vacation swimming at Walt Disney World's River Country. Rumor of a brain-eating disease in the water of Disney's own River Country is likely a reason that led up to its closing. Or could it have been the competition rising on the horizon? Water parks such as Wet n Wild were being opened in near area of Disney. To counter the opening of Wet n Wild in 1989, Walt Disney World opened its second water park, which was named Typhoon Lagoon. Typhoon Lagoon was much larger in the river country, boasted many more attractions, and more conveniently located and offered extensive parking facilities. 6 years later, a second large water park, Blizzard Beach, followed. Again, it was on a similar scale to Typhoon Lagoon and dwarfed river country. It had more room for guests and could command a higher entrance fee. While the park was closed during the off-season, the tragic events of 9/11 unfolded, which shook taking vacations around the world. All of Disney theme parks were losing money, and this could have been the real reason why River Country had closed. While a brain-eating disease could be the main reason, it seems more likely that River Country happened to fall into a budget cut and was never reopened. Disney's original water park, River Country, has been closed for around 13 years now. Many suggest a new DVC resort is set to replace River Country in the near future. But until then, River Country sits where it has been left, abandoned. Many people have entered River Country to explore the old and sad water park as it still sits there today, waiting for something to replace it. That's it for today's episode of The Story of What Happened. Be sure to hit that like button if you guys did enjoy this. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below for any topics you would like us to discuss in a future video. And of course, if you do enjoy our content and you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this is all I have time for today. Once again, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time for another episode of The Story of What Happened. Thanks so much for watching.